Let's start today's important news. 31 Maoists, 2 Jawans killed in encounter. The government's last war against Naxalism is going on. Operation Khagar is in news. Frequently, if you observe in Chhattisgarh, there are encounters. In the biggest anti-Maoist operation of the year, at least 31 alleged extremists were gunned down by security forces in Bijapur district of Chhattisgarh on February 9, that is Sunday. 2 security personnel were also killed. Inspector General of Police said that the encounter has taken place when a security team conducted a search in the National Park jungles against the Maoists. So, around 31 alleged Maoists got killed in an encounter yesterday in Chhattisgarh. In this respect, you should remember Operation Kagar, launched by the central government against the extremism and Naxalism. They aimed at waging a final control on extremism or Naxalism. On the other side, some organizations are alleging that in the name of Operation Kagar, the government is annihilating human rights and government is entering into encounters, but this is not the way to deal with extremism or Naxalism. That is a criticism that is being received, but still Operation Kagar is going on in the Naxal affected areas, particularly in Chhattisgarh, if you observe. And next important news, Manipur Chief Minister resigned. Manipur CM Mr. N. Biren Singh stepped down from the post following a meeting with Union Home Minister Amit Shah. Mr. Biren Singh, who was summoned to the national capital by Amit Shah, tendered his resignation to Governor Ajay Kumar Bhalla soon after reaching Impal. The governor accepted the resignation and the government is doing alternative arrangements. You all know from the last 1.5 years, Metis and Kukis issues going on in Manipur. There's violence in Manipur. The issue erupted when the government planned to implement reservations to Metis along with Kukis, and the issue erupted into violence, wide-scale protests in the state. And now, from the last 2 years, the government have not taken much action on Manipur CM. Today, I can see the repercussions, but it is too late. It is too late. It should have been done 2 years back, not today. Okay? They should have asked the resignation of Mr. Biren Singh 2 years back and not today. That's a thing that is coming up in the news from Manipur. If you observe, the news is still continuing in Manipur. Let's see how government is going to establish peace in Manipur. This is very important. See, still things are not so fine in Manipur. Coming back, there's a free movement regime between the bordering states of Myanmar. 16 kilometers, both the sides, there's a free movement regime, and the government is going to block that also. Government is going to end that also. So I can see the government is planning to crack down on border infiltration, to formulate policy for the deportation of illegal immigrants, and to continue the revised mechanism of free movement regime. Okay, this is also the issue that is coming up. And next important news that's coming up today. Today is February 10th. Every second Monday in the month of February is International Epilepsy Day. Today, the whole world is observing International Epilepsy Day. Epilepsy is a neurological disorder that causes recurring seizures due to abnormal electric activity in the brain. It's a neurological disorder which causes regular seizures due to abnormal electric activity in the brain. International Epilepsy Day is a global observance dedicated to raising awareness about epilepsy, breaking the stigma surrounding the condition, advocating to the rights of those affected, and It is observed annually on the second Monday of February. This day highlights the importance of education, support, and medical advancements in epilepsy care. Epilepsy, despite being the most prevalent neurological condition worldwide, is often misunderstood, leading to social stigmas and discrimination. International Epilepsy Day serves as a platform to challenge these misconceptions and promote inclusivity. First Epilepsy Day was observed in the year 2015, and International Epilepsy Day was established to address the need of it was established to address the need for greater awareness and support for people living with epilepsy. So the day is very important for the people living with epilepsy and also important to promote awareness with respect to epilepsy. So this is the story. And kindly try to empathize, appreciate, and also try to understand various things. Try to understand various things. You should have in detailed appreciation of things. See, I'll just ask you a question. When did exactly the Metis and Kukis issue erupted in Manipur? In which month, which year? Almost 2 years back. Almost 2 years back, March 2023. For this March, it will be 2 years, and the CM is not taking any decision. He is not very strong to control the violence. Violence, if it erupts for 1 month or 10 days, and if it continues for 2 years, then who should be blamed? Who should be blamed? If it erupts, you should have controlled it. You should have taken a call on it. You should have taken stern action on it. Then, still in the long standing 2 years of time, if two communities are fighting in the state, if CM is looking like a Nero king who is playing violin, what is the purpose of being a CM there? That's a very important thing, right? So, on 20th April 2023, Manipur High Court directed the state government to consider request of Meitei community to be included in ST list. The Kukis feared that ST status would allow the Meiteis purchase the land in the prohibited hilly areas. On 3rd May 2023, ethnic violence erupted in Manipur between Meiteis and Kukis. According to the government figures, in the last 2 years, hundreds have been killed in violence and more than 70,000 people have been displaced. Many religious structures, temples, churches were burnt, and thousands of people got injured in the conflict. The major cause for this is the Manipur High Court ordered the state government to send a recommendation to the central government on the demand for ST status for the Meitei community. A decision later criticized by the Supreme Court also. So this is a story. So from last 2 years, continuous violence is going on in Manipur. This is the thing which you need to understand. And next important news, Bangladesh launches Operation Devil Hunt. At least 40 individuals have been arrested in Bangladesh under Operation Devil Hunt after a violent attack on activists from a student group during a raid of the house of Awami League leader in the outskirts of Dhaka. So, Operation Devil Hunt is being launched by the Bangladeshi government. The arrested individuals are accused of destroying and vandalizing all symbols of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's Awami League party. In a way, they are trying to show off that government is taking action on protesters, those who are involved in vandalism. In fact, the allegation is government itself is promoting vandalism against Sheikh Hasina and her father's symbolisms, their houses and their statues, etc. So, and Bangladesh government officially to show off to the international world, they are now started devil hunt concept and they are arresting the people who are involved in vandalism. Kerala government launches initiative with a goal to eliminate snake bite deaths in 5 years. The budget proposal to achieve zero mortality from snake bites in 5 years in Kerala would be the final phase of an ambitious move of the Kerala state in the recent years. Many people die in Kerala. The state have witnessed 1,149 deaths due to snake bites in the last 10 years officially. So government wanted to have snake envenomization, zero mortality in Kerala, and state is planning to start this phase-wise time-bound approach. In the next 5 years, state is going to complete this, and the state government is doing along with disaster management authority also on priority basis. So Kerala is aiming at zero snake bite mortality. Zero snake bite mortality. Recently, Government of India also have issued snake bite as a notifiable disease, and every snake bite should be notified. So the issue with respect to snake bite is coming up with the news time and again. You have to prepare about the snake bite for prelims and mains. I think this is the most important question this year because I am seeing snake bite every day in the newspaper. So you have to do that. 3-day International Bird Festival to be organized in Prayagraj from February 16th. Visitors to Mahakumbh 2025 will get a chance to witness a gathering of 200 species of migratory and local birds in a 3-day International Bird Festival to be organized in Prayagraj from February 16 to February 18th. To promote environmental conservation and biodiversity, this event will offer a unique opportunity for nature lovers, ornithologists, and devotees to observe rare bird species and understand the importance of the conservation of these species. So, 3-day bird festival in Prayagraj during Mahakumbh. Yesterday, we have read a news that US Supreme Court judge have blocked access to the information of Treasury Department to the Elon Musk-led Dodge Department. So, Department of Government Efficiency, which was formed after Trump got elected, was led by Elon Musk. Elon Musk and his Dodge is aiming to have an access to Treasury Department's all regular data, previous data also. But US court have blocked the data. Now, Elon Musk is saying, Elon Musk has called for the impeachment of federal judge Paul Engelmayer following a ruling on Saturday morning that restricts his Department of Government Efficiency's access to Treasury Department's payment systems. So, Elon Musk said, most corrupt and least competent bureaucracy in America. And you know, in India, if you criticize a judge, it's a big thing. Contempt of court will attract you. But Elon Musk openly wrote in Twitter, in his X, a corrupt judge protecting corruption. He needs to be impeached now. Can you dare to say that in India? No. Directly in Twitter, in X, he wrote, a corrupt judge protecting corruption. He needs to be impeached now. This is a statement given by Elon Musk in Twitter yesterday. It's a statement given by Elon Musk in Twitter yesterday. 15th edition of Aero India show is being started on February 10th at Bengaluru. Our Defense Minister, Mr. Rajnath Singh, is going to inaugurate Aero India show. The 15th edition of Aero India show is Asia's largest air show. Is all set to be inaugurated in Bengaluru on February 10th by Defense Minister Rajnath Singh. And Rajnath Singh said that this showcases the strength, resilience and self-reliance of New India. Organized in a total area of over 42,000 square kilometers and with confirmed participation of over 900 exhibitors, including 150 foreign companies, the event is said to be the biggest ever Aero India till date. Aero India is a biennial air show and aviation exhibition which is held at Bangalore, organized by Defense Exhibition Organization, Department of Defense Production, Ministry of Defense. Aero India is a biennial. Biennial means once in every 2 years, not every year. Okay. And next interesting news for today, Narendra Modi ji, our Prime Minister, is going to France today and he is going to inaugurate new consulate at Marseille in France. Marseille is very, very famous, and near Marseille, very close to Marseille, we have ITER project also, International Thermonuclear Experimental Reactor, for which India is also a party. And a question have come long back about ITER project. ITER project is an ambitious project launched by 7 countries, and the headquarters of ITER is at Cadarache near Paris, France. ITER means International Thermonuclear Experimental Reactor, using tokamak technology, that is fusion technology, to produce energy. And Marseille is an important strategic telecommunications hub, and ITER, International Thermonuclear Experimental Reactor. India is also playing a key role in ITER project. So now we are going to have a new consulate which Modi ji have promised in 2023 France visit. That he is going to inaugurate a new consulate at Marseille, France. So tomorrow he is going to attend AI Action Summit. We are going to discuss about AI Action Summit tomorrow. So if you see in Hindu paper opinion page, there is a most important article. China contributes substantially to US biggest imports. And US claims that US worries about trade deficit with China. Yes. Last week, US President Donald Trump announced additional tariffs on imports from China, Canada, and Mexico. And of the more than 75 countries with which US maintains trade relations, China accounts for 18% of all its imported services between 2018 and 2023. So, between the last 5 years, 2018 and 2023, China accounted for 18% of US imports, which is the highest share, followed by Mexico 14%, Canada 13%. The US imported goods worth $17,000 billion between 2018 and 2023. Of these, electric machinery and equipment accounted for 15%. Vehicles and their parts accounted for 11%. Nuclear machinery and appliances 9%. So, US imports majorly from China. China substantially contributes to the US imports. Now, US imposed tariffs on many Chinese goods. It not only affects China but also America, because most of the American manufacturers, entrepreneurs purchase raw materials from China and they will become costly, and goods will become costly in America also. Once goods becomes costly in America, inflation rises. Temporarily, America also should face the wrath of tariff war with China. This is a net outcome of what is going on. It is not only China but also America will get affected if America imposes more and more tariffs on Chinese imports, as America substantially imports various things from China. February 10th, World Pulses Day. The theme is bringing diversity to agri-food system, and India is the largest producer of pulses. In India, if you observe, Madhya Pradesh tops, Maharashtra second, Rajasthan third in pulses production. Particularly urad dal, moong dal, chana, rajma, all these things are the famous pulses that are being produced in India. UN have declared 2016, 8 years back, the year 2016 as International Pulses Year. And this day is specially earmarked to bring awareness about the importance of pulses in our food diversity, diet diversity. So diet diversity is becoming big thing, and in diversity we are all expected to eat pulses also in our diet every day. For that reason, we celebrate World Pulses Day on February 10th.